Hello children, today we are going to start a very interesting topic, important topic for your future studies as well, arithmetic progression. Very easy topic. Before I directly go for arithmetic progression, we need to understand a term called sequence. Okay, what are sequences that we need to understand? Now, right from your childhood, you are studying number. Recall natural numbers. Natural numbers, you may remember. What is the smallest natural number? 1. Next one, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Everybody knows these are natural numbers. They are infinite in number. Okay, that is, there is no largest number we can calculate, as there exists another large number to that. Also, observe now the pattern here. How do you get the next natural number? After 1, how 2 is obtained? 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So here, though it's a very well-known concept to you, in this lesson we are going to understand that how do we obtain these number patterns. What happens between the two numbers, and here you will see that the position is very important. If I ask you what is the natural number at 5th position, your answer will be 5. 6 will be 6. 100th natural number, answer will be 100. Everybody can give that answer. Keep it in your mind. Next important concept, type of numbers, you have studied tables right from the beginning. The very first table you might have studied is the table of 2. Let us write down the table of 2. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Now, how we started? 2 ones are, 2s are, 3s are, and etc. If I ask you 2 tens are, you again can very easily give me the answer. 2 tens are 20. Here also observe what's the pattern here. First number 2, plus 2 4, plus 2 6, plus 2 8, and so on. Right? So here also we can find out what will be the next term. After 8, what is the next term can be found. If I just give you, if I ask you what is the previous term, that also you can explain me immediately. 8 minus 2 is 6. So what are you understanding in these two parts? That some rule is being followed. Here what is happening? Numbers are simply increasing by 1. Increasing by 1 means what here? The next term, next number is important here. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 plus 1 is the immediate next term. So what we call 1 followed by 2. So 1 and 2 are consecutive term. What is the consecutive term? In increasing order to 2 is 3. In the decreasing order, what it is? 1. So consecutive word is important here. Consecutive means what? One after the another. Okay. What are the first 3 consecutive multiples of 2? Now see, the concept is the same. I am only changing the way of asking question. So 3 consecutive terms in the table. First 3 consecutive multiples of 2 are what? 2, 4, and 6. I cannot jump over. Consecutive means they have to follow one after the other. Now one more example you see. If I write some numbers like this, 1, 4, then 9, 16. Here also, if I ask you what is the next term, think. Can you give the answer? Majority of you will be able to give the answer. You need to observe this carefully. 1, 4, 9, 16. First observation, they all are perfect square numbers. What are perfect square numbers? Which are obtained by squaring a particular number. Like 1 is the square of 1. 4 square of 2. 9 square of 3. Square of 4. So immediately you will be able to tell me what is the answer here. 25. Next also, can you give the answers? Yes. So children, these number patterns, or I will call them as set of numbers. Here everywhere some rule is followed such that you can obtain, some order is followed here, and we can obtain the next terms here. We can try to obtain the next terms over there. this kind of set of numbers where the numbers follow some particular order, we call them as sequence. Okay, now if I write anyway randomly here, say 2, then 8, then 0, then -5, then 6, is it a sequence? Yeah, that way numbers are written in some order, that is a sequence. But in what is the difference between these three sequences and this one? Here you cannot find what would be the next terms. Why? Because this 2, 8, 0, -5, 6 and all, they do not follow any rule. So normally we are not going to study these, we do not study these kind of sequences. That is an arrangement of number, that is a sequence, but we do not study. We normally study these kind of sequences where some definite rule, some pattern, etc. is followed. So these are what sequences where the numbers are arranged in some definite order. Okay, so what is a sequence? That I think so is clear to every one of you. Now let us see the important thing. What I wanted to show you here is the terms in a sequence. Okay, set of natural number is a sequence. So here 1, 2, 3, these are the, now see the wordings, these are the terms of this sequence. So this you have to be familiar with this, terms of a sequence. Say I will take the table of 3. Okay, then 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. So here this is called the first term of the sequence. So T for term and first term 1. First term of this sequence is for second term. So how would I write it? T2. This is T3, T4 and so on. And if it is an infinite sequence, then there will be infinite term. So any numbers term in between, if I have to go for, I will name this term as, any term over here as nth term. You can right now also find what it will be, 3n, isn't it? Because 1 into 3, 3, 2 into 3, 6, 3 into 3, 9, 4 into 3. So that way it is 3n, that we are going to study later on. So terms of a sequence are denoted by T1, T2, T3, T4 and so on. Okay, is that clear to you? This is the, how do we say, nth term of the sequence. Previous term, next term. Okay, T2, T3, T4 are also as consecutive terms. So what is meant by terms in a sequence, that is clear to you? Those are the members or elements of that sequence. And also a sequence is normally denoted like this way, in curly bracket this. So some sequence where the numbers follow some definite rule, at least what that we are going to study, in which n terms may be there. It can be finite also or it can be infinite also. So I think what are sequences, that is clear to you. Now let's see, I'll take the example from your book only. Interesting example it is, and let us go for our concept. Let's find the relation in these sequences. Let's understand the thought behind it. Now first look at the sequence 1, 4, 7, 10 and then it is left to you. So as you observe 1, 4, 7, 10, immediately you understand that these numbers are increasing by what? 3, isn't it? 1 plus 3, 4. 4 plus 3, 7, right? So what will be the next term here? 13, next will be 16, that is left to you. You can complete it yourself. Observe another one, 6, 12, 18, 24. As you understand, it's a table of 6. Again, each term is increasing by what? 6 here. So 24 plus 6, you will be getting the next term 30 plus 6, 36. Here you observe 3, 3, 3, 3. So you understand that the next terms will also be 3. Is it a sequence? Is it following some rule? If you wonder, then you have to understand, of course it is a sequence, it is following the rule. What is the rule? Every term word is known to you now, every term is getting increased by or even decreased by 0. Okay, so is it following a rule? Yes, it is following a rule, and the next all terms in that are 3. Next one 4, 16, 64 and so on. So here also what you understand, how do you obtain after 4, how do you obtain 16? 4 multiplied by, see, you can think that 4 plus 12 also, that thing also can come to your mind, that 4 plus 12 also is 16, but then 16 plus 12 is not 64. So immediately understand that 4 multiplied by 4 gives you 16. 16 multiplied by 4 gives you what? 64. And 64 when is multiplied by 4, 4 4s are 16, 1, 256. The next term obtained will be 256 multiplied by 4 and so on. So is it a sequence? Yes, we are studying it as a sequence. What rule is followed? That every term, if you multiply by 4, you get the next term of the sequence, right? Then another sequence you see, minus 1, minus 1.5, minus 2, minus 2.5. So here first tell me, what do you observe? If the numbers are increasing or decreasing? You know, the smaller negative number is greater than the, the magnitude I am talking. Minus 1 will be greater than minus 1.5. Minus 1.5 is greater than minus 2. Doesn't matter, just this is to show you. Then how we get minus after minus 1? How you get minus 1.5? If you add to minus 1 minus 0.5. You get minus 1.5. Minus 1.5 plus minus 0.5 gives you minus 2. So here numbers are actually decreasing. Why? Because you are subtracting them and they are decreasing by what? 0.5. Either you can say the numbers are increasing by negative 0.5 or the numbers are decreasing by 0.5. Like that way, any way you can express it. For that you need to have the knowledge of integers. And here you can get the next term over here. Come back to the sixth part. First term is 1 cube. Second is 2 cube. Third term is 3 cube. Okay. So instead writing 1, 8 and 27 in this way. So if I ask you what will be the 10th term, again you can give me the answer. 10th term is an example that any numbers term you can find here. So can you predict what will be the next a particular either consecutive term or any term in this sequence? Yes, you can predict it. So all these are the examples of the sequences which are following certain rule and that enables us to find the terms in that sequence. And these kind of sequences we study in mathematics. Right. Now observe one more thing carefully. In the first sequence, what's happening? Every next term is getting increased by 3. Okay. So can I say that the difference between any two consecutive terms is 3? Can I say that? Like if I have selected 1 and 4. What is the difference between 1 and 4? 4 minus 1, 3. I have selected 10 and 7. What's the difference between 10 and 7? 10 minus 7, 3. So I am making a statement here that the difference between any two consecutive terms is 3. Is 3? That means it is not changing. It remains the same. Number 3, which is the difference, is not getting changed. So I will say that the difference between any two consecutive terms remains a constant here. You just listen to the language because next we are going to use this language only. Here also, each next term is obtained by increasing the previous term by 6. So difference between again any two consecutive terms here is what? 6. Difference between any two consecutive numbers here? 0. 6 is a constant, 0 is a constant, 3 is a constant. Here difference, I am talking about difference now. These all are sequences, but now we are going for the next step. 16 minus 4, 12. 64 minus 16, no, it's not 12, right? It is what? 48. So here in this sequence, the difference between any two consecutive terms is not a constant. Minus 1.5, right? Minus 1. What is the difference? Minus 0.5. So here also the difference between the two consecutive terms is what? Minus 0.5, which is a constant. Constant means which is not changing. And here of course the difference will definitely not be the constant. So here observe the first, second, third and fifth. In these sequences where the difference between the two consecutive terms remains the same, these kind of sequences are called as arithmetic progression. Okay, so what's a arithmetic progression? It is a sequence. What is a sequence? Where the numbers, a set of numbers follow certain rule. And if that rule is as the difference between the two consecutive terms is a constant which does not change, like this first, second, third and fifth case, then the given sequence is called as arithmetic progression. Let's understand it more better way. Look at this pattern: 30, 20, 10, etc. You must have understood it is an AP, right? Now why it is an AP? Because you are understanding 10 followed by 20 followed by 10. If I ask you what is the next term, you need to understand by what number this to 10 what should I add such that I get the next term. Okay, so for that I need to find that what had I added to 30. So I got the answer 20. You are listening correct. What I am saying is correct. What should I add to 30 so that I get 20? How would I get that number? I would get that number 20 minus 30. What is the answer? Minus 10. So minus 10 is the number which is when added to 30 you get the answer 20. Also to 20 you add minus 10, answer is 10. So to 10 you add minus 10, you get the next term 0. To 0 you add minus 10, you get the answer minus 10. So the number you need which is to be constant to obtain the next term in an arithmetic progression, that is the difference of the second term and first term. Remember, second minus first, third minus second, etc. That difference is known as common difference and it is denoted by D. And in general, how would I write? Now I am saying second minus first, right? Third minus second. So if I talk in terms of nth term, so Tn plus 1th term, right? Minus if I do nth term, then in arithmetic progression, now we have assumed that it is an arithmetic progression. So the common difference denoted by D can be obtained by Tn plus 1 minus Tn. If n is 1, n plus 1 will be what? 2. So T2 minus T1. N is 10, n plus 1 is what? 11. T11 minus T10, like that way. And what did you find here? Common difference is negative here. Let's go for the second case. Now you can tell me what is the common difference. 20 minus 10. What is the answer here? 20 minus 10. The answer is 10. 30 minus 20. 10. Right? So how would you find the next term? 30 plus the common difference 10. Answer is 40 and so on. Here what's the common difference you observe, children? In the last case, the arithmetic progression here is 10, 10 and 10 so on. So second term minus the first term. What is the common difference here? 10 minus 10. The answer is 0. Okay. So common difference is what? That is clear to you. Common difference can be negative, positive, it can be 0. If the common difference is negative, our arithmetic progression will be in descending order. It will be decreasing, right? Though you are adding, it will subtract, no? And if it is positive, arithmetic progression will be increasing order of number. And if it is 0, all terms in our arithmetic progression will remain constant. How it will be denoted, that is clear. One more point you must have understood right now, along with these 3-4 points I have explained, that if you only know the first term and if you know the common difference, entire AP can be obtained. For example, in this case, if we are given that the first term is 30, common difference is minus 10. What will be the second term? 30 minus 10. Next will be 20 minus 10, right? Or 30 plus 2 times minus 10, that will give you 10. So if the first term is A and common difference is D, you can find all the terms in an AP. I'll show you some example. We are going to work with all these things in our exercise also. So first term is a. Second term how we are obtaining? By adding the common difference. Adding, and we are adding only. If the sign is negating, it will get subtracted. So what it will be? A plus d. Okay. T3 how it will be obtained? A T2 plus d. T2 is what? A plus d. And plus common difference d. So T3 will be what? A plus 2d. T4 now directly you can write. It will be what? A plus 3d. Later on we'll study for the largest number of term we can have a formula here, but here right now what we have understood, if first term and common difference is known, entire AP can be obtained. What will be the AP? A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, and so on. While doing the word problem etc., all these basic concepts only are needed, right? Now let's start with practice set 3.1. The first question is, which of the following sequence are AP? Remember, here we need to identify whether the given sequence is AP or not. If AP, find common difference. You know what is common difference. Okay. Now here the terms you see, minus 10, minus 6, minus 2, and so on. So first name these terms as T1, T2, etc. Okay. So this is T1, T2, T3 and T4. Now what we have to find is T2 minus T1. This is what is the difference between the two consecutive terms. So minus 6. What is the operation we are doing here? Minus. But the number to be subtracted is also what? Minus. So minus 6 minus minus plus 10. Difference is what here? 4. Then what you will find? T3 minus T2. What is T3? Minus 2 minus minus 6, that is minus 2 plus 6. Again the answer is what? 4. But check, since 4 terms are there, another 4 difference also will find. T4 minus T3, 2 minus minus 2. You need to work for this only. Sometimes by observing you think something different and the answer is different. Yeah. So for all the terms we have found that the difference here is a constant. So this statement should be written, the difference between any two consecutive terms is a constant. That is 4, not changing, is a constant. Therefore given sequence is an AP. All steps are compulsory. You have to write all the steps. Now next question. The terms are 0.3, 0.33. In some books this is a mistake, so it is you need to correct it, 0.333. Okay. So here also first note down what is T1, T2, T3 here. T1, T2 and T3 here. What are we finding here now? T2 minus T1 and T3 minus T2. If it is the same, it will be the AP like previous case. So T2 0.33 minus 0.3. See, 2 decimal places here, so increase a 0, you know it. So 0.33 minus 0.30. What is the difference? 0.03. Okay. Next is 0.333 minus 0.33. Again put a 0 here, and now some go wrong here, so I'll show you here, children. 0.333 minus 0.330. See the difference? 300. So what's the difference coming here? 0.003. Obviously they two are not the same. So the difference between two consecutive terms is not same. Not same is not constant. Is not constant. Therefore given sequence is not an AP. Right? Next you see 3 plus root 2, 3 plus 2 root 2, 3 plus 3 root 3. So here T2 minus T1, T3 minus T2, 4 terms are there. T4 minus T3. Find out. t2 3 plus root 2 minus t1 3. What is the difference? Root 2. t3 3 plus 2 root 2 minus, now why I have taken this example for this, you are subtracting a binomial है ना, 3 plus root 2, so immediately put a bracket and you will avoid all mistakes. 3 plus 2 root 2 as it is, open the bracket, minus 3 minus root 2 plus 3 minus 3 cancelled, 2 root 3, not root 3 no, sorry, this is 3 plus 2 root 2, I am sorry, 3 plus 2, so 2 root 2 minus root 2, what is the answer? Like 2x minus x, what is the answer? Root 2. t4 3 plus, here also I have written wrong, 3 plus 3 root 2, see copying the question is important, 3 plus 3 root 2 minus, put a bracket, 3 plus 2 root 2, open the bracket, 3 plus 3 root 2 minus 3 minus 2 root 2, 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2, like 3x minus 2x, again I say root 2. So you can write the answer yourself. What do you observe here? The difference between any two consecutive terms, or the common difference also you can write. Common difference is a constant here, root 2. Therefore given sequence is an AP. That you please write yourself and solve the remaining questions of this question. I mean remaining sub questions. Look at next question. Write an AP whose first term is A and common difference is D, and A and D is given. Did you notice the difference here? We have to write an AP. First term is given, common difference is given. So you know na, that if first term is increased by common difference, you get second term. Second term increased by common difference, you get third term. That is what we are going to follow here. Here A is, first example you see, A is minus 3 and D is 0. You have guessed the answer. The AP is going to be minus 3, comma minus 3 and so on. But for every question we need to write the steps in order to explain that you have understood and you have done it. So first I have to write the first term. First term is what? T1, denoted by T1. But here given to us the first term itself is A. So T1, that is A, is equal to minus 3. Do not forget this step. Our AP starts with minus 3. T2, how will you find T2? First term A plus common difference D. Minus 3, D0, again the term minus 3. T3, you will be getting what? T2, right? Here also in place of A, you could have written T1. T2 plus D. T2 minus 3 plus D 0. What is the answer? Minus 3. What is the AP? Minus 3, comma minus 3, comma minus 3. Okay. We have to write an AP, so we can just show it as an infinite part as well. Second part, A minus 7, D half. Now half is a very simple decimal, you know. So instead of going for the fractional part, I will convert it into a decimal. Half means what? 0.5. So it will go easy for us. Now T1. What is T1? A. What is A? Minus 7. So I remind you, AP begins with minus 7. T2. How do you find T2? T1 plus D. Now that T1 let it be positive or D let it be positive, negative. Our formula is first term plus common difference, second term plus common difference. Like this we have obtained the term. So T1 plus D. What is T1? Minus 7 plus 0.5. Now negative positive, subtraction. 7 minus 0.5, 6.5. Sign of the greater integer, minus. What is the answer? Minus 6.5. Second term. T3, T2 plus D. T2 minus 6.5 plus 0.5. Again plus minus. Minus 6.5 minus 0.5. you know answer is what? Minus 6 being the greater number, sign minus. T4, T3 plus D, minus 6 plus 0.5, that is minus 5.5. So what is the arithmetic progression obtained here? Minus 7. Do not forget this. Minus 7, minus 6.5, minus 6, minus 5.5, and so on. Next, one more question. A is minus 1.25 and D is 3. First step, T1. T1 is A. A is minus 1.25. T2, T1 plus D. Minus 1.25 plus 3. Again, be alert. Plus minus minus. Which minus what? 3 minus 1.25. So 3. Okay, double decimal 0 there. 1.25. You know how to do it, right? So what it will be? 5, 7, okay, 1, right? So 1.75. Okay. So the difference here is what? 1.75. This is just shown to you. You know what it is to be done. 2 and then 100 and all it becomes. Now T2. T2 plus D, T3, right? So 1.75 plus 3. 4.75. T3 plus D, 4.75 plus 3, 7.75. So what is the arithmetic progression? Minus 1.25, 1.75, 4.75 and 7.75 and so on. Last one more question, then remaining you please try yourself. I have taken all these typical ones, easy ones are left for you. A is minus 19, D is minus 4. I'll just show you how it is to be. Again, T1, that is A, that is minus 19. T2, T1 plus D, that is minus 19 plus minus 4, right? So what is the answer? Minus minus you will add, right? So what is the answer? Minus, sign of the answer will be minus 23. T3, what it will be? T2 plus D. What is T2? Negative 23 plus negative 4. What is the answer? Again I repeat, minus minus, so you are ready, and both are negatives, the answer will also be negative. Do not miss out any of the sign and don't do it without understanding. T3 plus minus 4, so minus 27 plus minus 4, that is minus 31. So what's the AP here, children? First term minus 19, don't forget only that, minus 23, minus 27, minus 31 and so on. Okay, solve the question, practice all in your fair book without fail. Thank you.